What's going on, folks? Welcome to Got Your Back, post-game live stream edition on this short shift. Well, Struds is going to like that game. I can guarantee you that. That tight checking, grinded out playoff style hockey. He's just salivating. Can't wait to jump onto the pod here and start talking about it. I guarantee you he's fired up. Nice low-scoring game. Defensive defenseman plays 20 minutes in Vinny Desharnais. Struds is just salivating. Big win for the Oilers, though. And a really cool comment from Evan Bouchard on his overtime winner. We'll let you hear that in just a couple of minutes. Got Your Back Short Shifts brought to you by Mid-City Construction Management, a locally owned family company specializing in civil construction projects for 40 years. From roadways to excavation, underground utilities, paving, and concrete, they've played a massive role in the infrastructure of Edmonton and surrounding areas since 1980. Great local family company. I was checking out their Help Wanted page on Indeed. Lots of job openings. So if you're looking to find work, check out Mid-City Construction Management on Indeed, or go to their website, mid-city.ca, and click on careers. A wide range of opportunities for you. Okay, we are live streaming tonight, so let's check in with the boys. We got Zuby in Kelowna. And Struds over on the south side of Edmonton. Struddy, have we ever seen Chris this well-dressed for a podcast?
No,
No.
Must have been date night. Is it every second Tuesday of a month is the night that he goes out on a date night, hits the town in
only months with 30 days in them or fewer.
Yeah,
classy.
I had, you know what? It's whatever time it is. I had a meeting at the bank this morning.
Oh,
so I put on my Sunday best, my Tuesday best, and stuck with it. And I thought once I knew I was doing this, I figured I'd get called out. We're pretty hard on you guys on the fashion side. So here I am. Looks good. This is one of
like the hair is done, a collared shirt, the beard is somewhat coiffed.
Showered today and everything.
Struds and I looking like a couple of scrubs on this thing tonight, buddy.
I'll move me up to one of the bigger squares, maybe.
No, you don't qualify. You're the little square guy. Well, fun game tonight. We're going to get to the breakdown in just a sec, Struds, but you had to like that one, man. You had to like that one.
I love it. I absolutely love it because you got to feel comfortable in those games. And the more games they play like that, down this stretch run against good teams and come out on the right end of it, the more confidence they'll have getting into the playoffs. I mean, it is such an important thing for them to have that. And we might have to win this one. It might take us 70 minutes, 80 minutes, 90 minutes. Who cares? We're just going to keep playing the same way. I loved it. I absolutely, when they get up 5-1, I'm falling asleep going to the third period. But this, I was riveted. I was sending texts out. Like, I was into this bad boy. I loved it.
Yeah. It was a good game. Listen, it was a good game. And we talked about the Oilers having to learn how to win games in different ways. Tonight was another example of that, and slayed a bit of a dragon here in the form of the Colorado Avalanche. We are live streaming tonight on both YouTube and on Twitter. So, Zuby, I know you're going to keep an eye on the YouTube comments. As stuff comes in that you want to get to, just let us know. Struds, you'll keep an eye on Twitter, as will I. And we thank you for hopping onto the live stream here tonight. Let's get to the breakdown of this game, brought to you by Horse Racing Alberta. Live thoroughbred racing returns to Century Mile Racetrack Saturday, May 6th. It's coming. Stand trackside and feel thunder with some of the finest thoroughbred racing in Western Canada. Opening day for live racing. Make sure you check it out. You can also watch and wager on the Kentucky Derby. We'll have some fun. Go to the races at Century Mile Racetrack and Casino Saturday, May 6th. For more information, to stay up to date, head to thehorses.com. Okay, I want to just get straight to the overtime winner. We were just monitoring post-game, and Evan Bouchard let everybody in on a little secret here. We'll listen to his answer about the win, a question from Tony Brar, and Connor McDavid setting up a little scheme that worked as we go to the Weiss Johnson soundbox.
Yeah, I think that was a huge game for us. Recently, we've been winning in different fashions. That was kind of a playoff game, and to come out on top was huge.
Take us through your game-winning goal on that one in OT.
Yeah, Connor actually called out, said do a little fake in there and see what opens up, and luckily for me, the lane opened up and it went in.
Connor said throw a little fake in there and see what opens up. Well, Struddy, a whole pile of space opened up, and Evan Bouchard wasn't the bomb. It was the snapper. That was a hell of a shot and a hell of a play and a hell of a suggestion from Connor McDavid.
Well, there were 7 skaters on the ice in that overtime power play. 1 was moving, 6 were standing still. 97 was all over the place. I added, she rewound it and took another look. He was buzzing. He was over here. He's everywhere. He's like Roy Kent. He was all over the place. So, I like it. And obviously he's thinking about how to use Bouchard the best he can, and he can pass it, but that guy can rip it. And now it's another weapon. When teams are pre-scouting the Oilers on their power play, maybe not as much 5-on-4, but 4-on-3 or whatever, they're thinking, okay, this guy will rip it.
Yeah.
It's another weapon. And as a killer, it's something else to think about.
Okay. Overall, the way that the Oilers defended in this game, what did you love, Struddy, about the way that they functioned and grinded in this game against a Colorado team that had beaten them in 8 of the last 9 games? Keeping in mind, the Avs didn't have a full lineup tonight, missing some pretty critical guys, but you got to beat the team in front of you. So what did they do well defensively?
They kept everything in front of them. I thought they did a really good job of being patient, not trying to rush out of the middle of the ice to go and like get someone in the wall that was, they want you to come there so you can pass it to the space you just left or vacated, right? But they did a really good job. They were very calm. The Oilers are also missing Ceci. I recognize the Avs are missing significant pieces of their lineup, and Cale Makar, none bigger than him, especially on the power play. Taze I like, but he is not Cale Makar. So it doesn't matter though. You got to win what you have. You're on the road. They have as much to play for as you do, but the defending by the Oilers was very, very good by keeping everything in front of them, keeping to the outside. And, Skinner faced quite a few shots. How many high quality chances that, even the goal that was scored, it was really more a product of the Oilers just, having some bad luck.
Shane Canamerica chimes in here, and the Weiss Johnson Twitter mentions nothing allowed in front of the net. Who cares who they had? D was perfect tonight. Yeah, listen, I agree. I thought like Vinny Desharnais had to step up here. He started the game with Darnell Nurse. Look at his minutes, 20 minutes and 8 seconds. He ends up playing 3 block shots. I thought he had a good game tonight, and that's not an easy team to play against. They're fast and they can make life difficult for a bigger guy. I thought Desharnais played well tonight, and tonight was a night where, man, having Matthias Ekholm in this Colorado matchup, that is a different look the Oilers are throwing at Denver.
Yeah, with all due respect to Vinny Barbarino, whatever his name was, it does matter, and he should care who was in the lineup, because the Oilers, if they make it to the Western Conference Final, how far away Rishaug? At least a month? Would you say a month before that series would happen? At least. So could Arturi Lehkonen be back? Very good playoff performer. Gabe Landeskog, could he be back? Very good playoff performer. Then you got Manson and Makar. It is a huge difference. Huge difference. Like, just to compare Oilers, I'm going to put it up there with Nurse, CC, probably, I don't know, maybe Hyman. It is huge. And I want to, and then Gabe Landeskog, I don't know, is it maybe that's Nuge. Like, you can't overlook the fact who they're missing, but they beat who was in their lineup. And I think just beating them is a big thing. But if that lineup's fully loaded, it's a much different team. And I don't want to be the negative guy here, but we can't overlook it. I'm sorry, Vinny Barbarino.
Solid night for Skinner tonight. We're going to get to the Weiss Johnson sound box. 45 years they've been in the business. So if you need a new furnace, garage heater, air conditioner, hot water tank, or if you need any of those things serviced, Weiss Johnson is the place to go. They're the leaders in our city when it comes to this line of work. Give them a call, 780-463-3096. 5803 Roper Road is the showroom. Okay, I was just talking about Stuart Skinner. Remember, Struds, how I've been talking about Skinner, and in his post-game press conferences, the way if a reporter asks him a question and compliments his play, what he says, oh, thanks. He did it to Tony Brouwer tonight. That's 2 mentions for Tony on the podcast tonight. Here it is, post game.
You made a big stop in that second period to make sure that game was tied. What does that do for your confidence heading into the third?
Yeah, thank you. I thought it was
You're welcome.
I mean, that's part of the game, right? There's moments. There's big moments in the game where
He was good in the big moments. Here's a little bit more of Skinner.
the whole group in here loves it. The fans were really loud tonight, especially going into the third period, especially the last 5 minutes OT. I mean, it really felt like a playoff atmosphere game. Felt like a playoff game all around, and I thought we did a great job on just the way we handled it. So. Big 2 points for us.
All right, one more clip here from Matthias Ekholm.
Great to see the guys respond. I thought that may took us a period to get into the rhythm of the hard check-in, but once we got there, I thought we played a really solid game.
Yeah, they did. They kind of backed their way in just a touch, Struddy, but when they got their feet under them, they started doing a really, really solid job. Like, really good. To only give up one goal against this team, look at what they've done here. Their last 4 games, they've given up a goal. The previous 2 to that was a couple shutouts. I mean, 4 goals against in their last 6 games. Pretty ridiculous, the defensive quality that the Oilers are putting out there right now. And tonight was a great example of that. And Skinner was good.
They're all embracing it. They're all embracing it. Every player on the team is embracing this idea of being good defensively. I also love that they didn't give up anything on the power play or the penalty kill, I guess. I mean, to be, that they were
big fat post.
A big post. Like that post, they wanted.
That was a game-changing post.
But I think Ekholm is 100% accurate. I thought they were, not that they were sluggish, but they weren't quite up to their game speed. But I thought they took over in the second period and long stretches in the third. I think the last 5 minutes we could probably, tip the hat to Avs, saying that they kind of took over. But you got to feel that. Like, again, I'm glad that the Oilers felt that. They feel that push.
Yep.
Skinner feels that push. All that stuff that you don't want to win every game 6-1. You want to have that feeling of adversity and just knowing you can get the job done. What it feels like, the moments where I have to be very sharp, very clean with my puck, the way I put it and how I handle it, and the way from the puck. Well, who am I watching? Where am I looking? Like, all those details. And none of them are really sexy details, but they're so important. If everyone does it, it can look like it did tonight.
Who are some other players that stood out in one way or another for you tonight, Struds? Like, who would you point to?
Well, I think you touched on it, but I want to put Desharnais at the top of that list. I thought Desharnais played really well. He was lifted up. I would guess that that's the most he's ever played, close to 21 minutes.
20 minutes, I would think so.
I might be wrong, but I'd be surprised if he ever played that much. And you know what? He was unnoticeable. Like, and I think that's a compliment. That's a really compliment for him. Playing beside Darnell Nurse. I think obviously Darnell covers a lot of ice and he does a lot of things right. But he was very noticeable tonight he was not noticeable, which is a good thing when you move up the lineup like that. He still had some physical moments. He was hitting, he was second most for penalty kill, I believe, looking at it. But that one was a surprise for me. I didn't see that coming. And then even Broberg. I think Broberg's another guy. We saw him do some things with the puck that you maybe wouldn't expect. You haven't played much recently. Some of the shots he took, some of the plays he made. And his defending, I really liked it. So I think those two guys, that if there are injuries in the playoffs, will be asked to do more. I felt pretty good about what I saw tonight if I'm Jay Woodcroft.
Yeah, I like the way Broberg was kind of walking along that blue line. He let some nice shots go, was shooting with his head up, like some really confident looking offensive style plays from Philip Broberg. He had a couple of nice defensive breakups too that I thought were pretty good. Back to Desharnais, played against Malgin, Comfer, and Nichushkin primarily at even strength. And, the possession numbers were decent in a matchup like that for a guy like Vinny Desharnais, 46%, give or take. Corsi for percentage. Not ideal, but whatever. I thought he played good for the most part and had some nice penalty killing minutes as well. Okay, I sent out a tweet before we got going on the live stream here, Struds. So pull a comment or two off of there. We'll get back to the Weiss Johnson mentions here. Once again, we are streaming on Twitter and on YouTube, so we are going to interact a little bit here for the next little bit. So fire us your thoughts. Struddy, what do you got?
Yeah, I've got this one here from at Shane Kahnemer. Do Oilers not have the best third and fourth lines in NHL currently? We know that what line one can do. This team's defense taking steps. Skinner really didn't have any major tests, and it kind of goes on. But my point is, do the Oilers have the top third and fourth lines in the NHL? And I love the enthusiasm, but I think that might be a step far. The Boston Bruins might be interested. Maybe Taylor Hall with Coyle and Frederick. I think those guys have nearly 50 goals between the three of them. So I think that would be a fairly big stretch, even though I do respect the enthusiasm. And then I mean, go look at the Kings. Fiala's played on their third line this year.
Yeah.
And I'll take any line with Fiala. And that's with all due respect to the Oilers' third line, but there's no Fialas hidden on there.
Still with Twitter here, comment from Hip Rock. Really like Bukestad's line tonight. I thought they had some really good looks. I thought they had some good energy. I want to make a comment about Warren Foegele. There was a comment somewhere, I think it was a Twitter mention on Warren Foegele. He looked so good so many times tonight, and then so bad multiple times tonight as well. Like, he was all over the place. There were a couple of times where, his hands got in the way. He couldn't make plays, but then he made some really, really nice plays. It was kind of a funny night for him, Struds. I liked his energy. I liked his speed. His hands failed him a bunch, but then he made some really nice plays too. It's kind of the up and down that is Warren Foegele's offensive game in his hands. And I wonder, when playoff time hits and the speed picks up and the space tightens up, how are those hands going to do? But he had some really nice looks tonight.
I actually made a note. I thought he had a good game. Like, I like the way he played. I like when he plays like he's a bull in the china shop. He's attacking, he's carrying the puck. And I think we have to understand what type of player he is. We're talking about a guy who's probably tapping out at the most at a 20 goal scorer, right? So I think he's at 14 or 15 this year. Like, I think if he plays like he did the second half of the year, the first half, I think he can get to 20. All right. So, we got to recognize we're not talking about an Evander Kane here. So I think the expectations have to be tempered a little bit about what maybe his offensive skill can be and what he can do with the puck. But when he carries that puck hard and drives the puck wide and takes it down below the tops of the circles, in my mind, he's doing his job. Because then once they get down there, now they're holding on to the puck, they're making plays, they're attacking, they're being difficult to play against. Like, that is what I want to see from them. And they'll cash in some goals like they did tonight. Nice played from McLeod to Ekholm.
Zuby, we'll get you to pull a comment off of YouTube if you're keeping an eye on that. Before we get to you, Chris Parrish says this team has evolved into a mature team in high pressure situations that are needed in the playoffs. I think tonight was a really good example of that. So Colorado opens the scoring, and then Matthias Ekholm, what is it with this guy in quick bounce back goals? It's a few now, and just bombs coming in off that left side. So it's a few times where he's led the charge, getting the team right back into it. But it was a tight game. They got down, they get it right back, and then they didn't push for more. They didn't panic. They just steadied themselves and played the way they needed to play from that point forward. That can't be easy. You got to want to run and gun after just being down. I thought they did a good job, Struds. I like that point that Chris makes.
Yeah, really good. He's also a good wrestler. Chris Parrish.
Is that a wrestler?
I'm pretty sure it's one and the same.
Zuby would know. Zuby's a wrestling guy.
So I first comment on Ekholm. Ekholm feels like the dad that just things are going sideways. He comes and just calms things down. Then he just kind of takes steps back into the darkness, right? And he's been such a nice addition. We've covered that before, but as I was watching the games, I was just thinking about that. But I think they're understanding that, and I've used this line many times, but you don't have to win the game in every single shift you go out there. Sometimes it's just a shift. Sometimes it's just 40 seconds of nothing happening. And we did see stretch of that where and Louis DeBrusk made a good point. A lot of the first period is kind of playing the neutral zone, right? One and done, one and done the other. And so just understanding that, and let's just get through this period. It's not perfect. We didn't play a perfect game, but we got through that first period. Now we're going to kind of just get our legs underneath us. Maybe our lungs feel a little bit better. Now we get into the second period, and you can see the Oilers take off. But I think in the past they would try to force it and say, "No, we'll get an extra one, or we'll just turn something that's nothing and trying to turn something." It's not there. So that maturity has been something I've been calling for 2+ years. We saw it we've seen it 10, but we've seen it previous to this, and they're really getting it. And everyone is embracing it, every single player. And I think that's what's exciting for this team.
Rollins72 here is trying to coin a phrase. Love the Ek bomb. Is that going to catch on? The Ek bomb? Is that going to be a thing?
I don't know. I mean,
you got the Bouchard bomb. You have the Ek bomb too.
It's like nations. Like, everything's a nation now, and I get it. Like, I get it. But I mean, is everything gonna be bombs? I'm sorry. There's got to be something else.
Yeah.
Like,
we're gonna reject that one.
Yeah. Is there a Swedish reference we can use? Like, Thor's lightning or something or Thor's hammer.
I'm not sure.
Ekholm's hammer. Maybe that'd be a better one.
Let's not do that one, Struds. Let's definitely not do that one. Zuby, what do you have from YouTube?
We don't want to get back into warming up your organ there, Struds. We've already had lots of other.
Yeah.
That one's been re-referenced a few times. Ryan Hassman, this is kind of more bigger picture stuff, but Ryan Hassman says, please put this win in context. How good are they really? I want to believe.
Yeah, I mean, putting the win in context, I think you need to take a step back and look at their last couple of weeks. I mean, this is more than just about coming out and playing well on one night. Look at how well this team is playing. Look at the teams that they're rolling over and beating consistently. Look at the record, 8 straight wins. It's the first time in 22 years the franchise has been able to do that. They're 17-2-1 with Ekholm in the lineup. Like, they're pretty legit here. Now, Colorado was missing really important pieces, Struds, and you talked about it earlier. You shouldn't be getting too excited thinking that, they just knocked off the Colorado Avalanche. They were missing. You look at the possession game tonight and how it favored the Oilers. Think about how often Cale Makar has the puck on his stick and how much he drives possession and how much he tilts the ice. So taking him out of the lineup gives this game a widely different complexion, Struddy, but they're legit, man. They're flat out legit.
Yeah, they are good. And to be fair, the Oilers are missing Cece, so he's kind of their Manson, kind of similar role. So, but not the same as what it is. So I think it has to be acknowledged that the Avs aren't at full health. But the Oilers still got to get the win. So if they lose it, it's like, oh, well, they can't beat the team not healthy. Well, they did beat them when they weren't healthy. And I think overall, I would say the Oilers scored the technical knockout tonight, or maybe not technical, but the technical win. Like, the judges card on the cards, they won the game, even in overtime. So I liked what they did. The Avs are a much better team when they're fully loaded, but who knows where these guys are going to be when they come back, how it's going to be, but it could be a long ways away. They beat Vegas. Now Vegas didn't have Stone. Okay, fair enough. They beat LA Kings, who didn't have Fiala or Gavrikov, but the Oilers can't control that. And I think both the two games against the Kings and Vegas, they really beat those teams. Like, they won the game, but they beat them at their, in some cases, like the Kings, in their style of play. So I don't know, if you got to give them credit where it's due. And I think this team is for real. And I'm very, very much looking forward to see where they finish the season and then what happens when you get to the playoffs.
Couple of quick suggestions to replace the Ek bomb. We got Big Jack says the Ek hammer. That kind of works. I don't know. I could see that. And
the Ek hammer?
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Ekholm, Ek hammer?
And,
no, you said Ekholm's hammer, Struddy,
yeah.
which is, that's not going to work.
And Davin said the homing missile, and that's not bad either, but I'd lean towards Ek hammer of those two.
Yeah. I don't think we're there. I don't think Oiler Nation isn't there yet. Keep working on it, Oiler Nation.
He just stole my line. I said hammer. So what do you want to give this guy a prize for just rephrasing mine a little bit?
He said Ekholm's hammer.
That's the same difference. I basically had the idea.
Flag on the play, buddy.
Like that's someone in Nike saying, "Oh, Strudwick's got an idea. Let's do it. Oh, let's change it to just do it. Oh, that's a great idea." Same thing. That's exactly
that's how it works in advertising. That's exactly what they do.
It's not the same thing. It's a different thing than that, Strud.
Exactly.
They tweak it, and then they get all the money.
That is not the same thing. Is it possible the Oilers held back a touch tonight? Think about when they turned up the heat in LA. I don't think so. I think that they laid her all out there. I just think it was a style of game.
What's
Commando Pisani's? What's that?
Sorry to jump. You can't just hold back.
Yeah.
You just don't say,
you gotta go.
Let's just play 80% because they're missing 4 key players. Like, that doesn't happen. Like, this is a big game. You could tell both teams are very much dialed in and ready to go and excited. So no, there's no holding back. I just, sorry, it doesn't happen.
All right, taking a look at the standings. So here's what happened tonight. Vegas ends up with a convincing win over Seattle. So they kind of held serve a little bit. The Oilers put some pressure on. Vegas holds serve. So with 1 game remaining on the schedule, the Oilers 2 points back of Vegas. Oilers have the tie break, though, the regulation wins. So fate's still somewhat in their hands here. It's going to be interesting to see how this thing shakes out. We've talked about this a little bit before, Struds. LA has fallen off a little here. We were talking about them like a pretty healthy level of not fear, but respect for LA, but they've fallen off a touch here. What do you think matchup wise? Like Winnipeg finishing pretty strong, right? They had a convincing win tonight, real feisty game they had against Minnesota. Los Angeles is a tough out. What do you think about the potential matchups?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. You look at Winnipeg, big, heavy team, skilled up front, some big centers, very good goalie. Maybe one of the top two in the Western Conference. Him and Onger. Am I missing somebody? I think that would be the top two. Always dangerous to have that. Josh Morrissey, another guy who could be in contention for the Norris Trophy. So, I think Winnipeg, if they're starting to find their game, might be the more dangerous adversary. Now, Ehlers did leave the game. I don't know what the update is on him. He got injured. I was trying to flip him back and forth. But the Kings, they're also been pretty solid. So I think both pose challenges, but I would probably choose to play the Kings if I had to over the Jets because of their goaltender. What about you?
Yeah. Well, Hellebuck can be a massive difference maker. I think you're making a great point there. and Winnipeg has been through a lot. Like they really have, man. They've had their they've had their adversity, they've had their issues. They felt great early in the year. The wheels came completely off, playoffs somewhat in jeopardy. They fight their way back. Like you watch that team play tonight. I had it on while I was watching the Oilers game too. And it's feisty. It was feisty. Like Lowry scraps with Reeves. You got Bonus losing it on the bench. Did you see him in Everson? Did you see what he was doing with him on the bench?
Yeah.
He's looking at him. He's yelling and he's swearing at him. He's like this. And he starts doing this. I think he might have been calling him short. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but like it was intense. Anyways, Winnipeg's been through some shit. And I think if they get in, they'll be thrilled to be there. Scheifele's rounding into form. Hellebuck's a game changer. So yeah, I think they'd be a tough out. And your point on the goaltending that LA puts forward is definitely well taken. Should be what do we got here? Ekholm slapper could be a flex home. No, I don't think we're doing that. Hey, flex home? No,
I don't know.
Ekbomba, which is the Swedish word for bomb, says Harper 08. Ekbomba? No,
I don't mind that.
Ekbomba? We're all just gonna start saying that? Like everyone's gonna know what it means?
Well, I'm not going to say any of them. I never say a Bouch bomb. I never say a Bardowskis.
More for fans.
I never say anything. I refuse. I'm a 47-year-old man. I'll never use that term. Bardowskis.
Corb77 chimes in with the explosion. That's not bad.
I don't think so.
More innuendo,
That's
though. Too much innuendo.
Explosion. You're just saying a word. Yeah. Explosion.
He might actually have it as the explosion, which that's bad, actually.
We're not good.
Does anyone else got any more hammer ideas? Boy, someone's on to something with that one.
Struddy. I'm vetoing that. The whole hammer thing, it's just a complete veto by me. So Oiler Nation, whoever's listening out there, I'm vetoing anything to do with the hammer. All right, Zuby. I think, hey, we're a short shift tonight, so we're going to cut her a little bit short. You can go ahead and roll the music, my man. So Oilers in action in a couple of nights, closing out the San Jose Sharks. How do you handle that game, Struds? You roll everybody out. You give people a bit of a break. There's still something to play for.
Go for it.
Potentially.
Do you think you're going to tell Connor McDavid, hey, buddy, we're just going to rest you tonight? What? No, you're not resting me. They're going for it. They're going to get the 2 points. They're going to put the pressure on Vegas to win. And I can't see Vegas being Seattle twice in a row. I'm calling it here now.
Interesting. Skinner or Campbell? You're garbage at picking goalies.
God.
Like just horseshit at picking goalies.
Campbell.
You can give Skinner a full week off before a playoff start.
I guess. I mean, Campbell, I guess. I don't know. I'm not convinced. What do you do?
Probably go Skinner. Lots of time off. They're rested right now.
Yeah,
they've had lots of days off.
Yeah. Good point.
Day off tomorrow.
Yeah, you're probably right. I don't know.
I'd be betting on me to be right the way you've been picking goalies this year.
100%. I have no clue. It's like picking nicknames for Ekholm's shot.
Hey, I hear you're making a debut on the big show tomorrow. LeBron and Rishaug got your back NHL edition.
Yeah, I got to get LeBron off
Stepping
my
it up.
back. Buddy, like, quit texting me, LeBron.
Oh,
I've
is he
got a
all
life.
over you?
Oh, enough, buddy, enough. And I'm not growing a beard.
Not
So,
going to do it. Hey, Shane
gonna.
Canamerica says, guys, thanks from Louisiana. Appreciate you
geez.
hopping on after games. Thank
it.
you for joining us. All right, Zuby, thank you kindly. Struds, good job, my man. We'll let you get to bed. We got an early call tomorrow morning for more podcasting. Got your back, LeBron and Rishaug coming your way tomorrow morning. Not going to say the name of the guest that we might have because that jinxes it and it might fall through. Hoping to have a significant guest on the podcast tomorrow. That's Got Your Back, NHL edition, LeBron and Rishaug. And Struds will be joining us as well. We'll chat with you first thing in the morning, my friend.
Talk to you guys then.
All right. Thank you so much for checking out the live stream, YouTube and Twitter, and joining us here on this Got Your Back short shift. Big thanks to our sponsors, as always, Mid-City Construction Management, the Horses, Horse Racing Alberta, and Weiss Johnson as well. Tons more podcasts coming your way. Keep an eye on our social media feeds. Thanks for your participation. Everybody get to bed. Get some sleep. We'll do it all again tomorrow. Cheers.